Hello and welcome to Chapter 1, Lesson 2, Words and Expressions. The first thing we need to know is some vocabulary words here for our lesson. The first vocab word is numerical expressions. And what those are is they contain a combination of numbers and operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And for example, that would be 2 plus 5. You've got your numbers and you've got your addition in there. Or I could say 3 minus 6. I could say 2 divided by 4. I could say 3 times 5 plus 4 divided by 2. Right? As long as it's just numbers and operations, it's a numerical expression. A verbal phrase then is a statement used in written word. So for our example up here is 2 plus 5. Up here, oops, I don't know what I'm typing. Then down here, our verbal phrase for that would be the sum of 2 and 5, because we all know sum means addition. The difference would mean subtraction, the product would be multiplication, and the quotient would be for division. Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to translate verbal expressions into numerical expressions. So the first thing that we have is a verbal expression. So the total amount of money if you have $9 and $12. So the phrase that we're looking for would just be the sum of 9 and 12 because it's $9 and $12. So then our expression would be 9 plus 12. And another example for you here is the age difference between 15 years old and 10 years old. So what we're looking for is the difference between 15 and 10. And so then 15 minus 10 is what you're looking for down here. So you want to take your bigger picture, break it down into your words, and then break that down into your numerical expression. So I want you to pause the video here and try these on your own. And then you can check back in and compare it with what I had. So the cost of 10 yo-yos if each costs $3. So that's 10 times 3 is your numerical expression that you're looking for. Number of students on 3 buses if each bus holds 22 students. So once again, 22 students on 3 buses. The number of students in each group of 15 students are divided into 5 equal groups. So you have 15 students total, and you're dividing them into 5 groups. You could also write that as 15, this symbol for divided by 5. They both mean the same thing. So if you did well, go ahead and move on. If you got stumped, raise your hand and I'll come help you, and we'll see if we can straighten this out for you. We've got some more vocabulary words before we move on. Number 1 is evaluate. So it's finding the numerical value of an expression. So say we have our numerical expression of 2 plus 5. If you evaluated that expression, you would end up with 7. And then we have our order of operations. So the order of operations is the rules to follow when you're evaluating an expression with more than one operation. So that would be our 2 plus 5 times 6, right? And what's another word that you've heard the order of operations be called? You guessed it, PEMDAS. And what PEMDAS is it's the order of operations. So you do your parentheses first, so anything inside of a parenthesis. Then you do your exponent, so any number that's up here. Then you do your multiplication and division. Those are at the same level. And then addition and subtraction, which are both at the same level as well. So you've got first, second, third, fourth. So from left to right. But when you're doing your order of operations, you don't go from left to right. You do the order of your operations, I guess. So I'll do some examples for you here. So we have 30 divided by 5 times 3. So we have division and multiplication that we're looking for. And since division and multiplication are at the same level, we're just going to go from left to right. So 30 divided by 5 is 6. And then we're left with 6 times 3, which is 18. I evaluated that numerical expression using the order of operations. Look at all those vocab words I just had. Now over here, our first step is parentheses. Surprise, we got some parentheses. 10 minus 7, that is 3. Do we have any exponents? No. Multiplication and division. When you see something like this, so our 4 parenthesis 3 plus 2 times 3, this 4 parenthesis 3 means multiplication. So we're going to do 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 2 times 3, which is 6. And then we just have one operation left, 12 plus 6, which will get us 18. Over here, when you have a fraction, your fraction means division. So this is basically 60 minus 15 divided by 2 plus 7. But if I were to write this out in like an order, it would look like this. 60 minus 15 in parentheses divided by 2 plus 7. So what you do is you solve your numerator, solve your denominator, and then you divide. So we're going to go 60 minus 15 is 45 over 2 plus 7, which is 9. And then we just do 45 divided by 9, which is 5. So you can circle all my other answers. So when you have a fraction there, solve the numerator, solve the denominator, and then you can divide. Over here, these brackets mean that they're parentheses, but that there's parentheses inside of it. So we need to take this and break it down step by step. So I'm going to go and find the teeniest part of the parentheses that I can. So we've got parentheses here, and then there's parentheses inside of those parentheses. So we need to solve the inside parentheses first. So 7 plus 5 is 12. Then I'm going to rewrite this whole thing. So behind it is divided by 4, 11 minus 5. So guess what? We've still got parentheses in here. And then our parentheses are around our 12. It's already solved, so we don't have to worry about that one. Am I going to do 11 minus 12 or 12 divided by 4 first? When you think about PEMDAS, division comes before subtraction. So we're going to do 12 divided by 4 first, which will get us 3. So we'll have 11 minus 3 times 5. 11 minus 3 is 9. I'm running out of space, so I'm just going to erase there. And then at 5 parentheses, 9 parentheses means 5 times 9, which is 45. Now I want you to go ahead and try these ones on your own and check. So go ahead and pause here. I'm just going to write in the answers for you, and if you don't come up with the answer that I have, I want you to go back and check and ask me for help to help you figure out where you went wrong. Okay, now we're going to be solving some word problems. So I gave you a few steps to follow when you're trying to solve these word problems because I know they kind of stress people out. So our step 1 for word problems is to find the most important information. Step 2 is to find that verbal phrase that you need to solve. Step 3 is to write a numerical expression for that verbal phrase. And then step 4 is to evaluate that verbal phrase. So I'm going to do a problem here to show you how to put this into effect. So here reading, it says, a cell phone company charges $20 per month and 15 cents for each call made or received. Write and evaluate an expression to find the cost for 40 calls. So important, $20 per month, 15 cents for each call. Okay, that's important. And then we want to know the cost for 40 calls. So I know it's $20 no matter what every month. So I can go boom, 20 bucks. And it's 15 cents for each call. So it's 15 cents per call. Do I know what my call, how many calls I'm making? Yes, 40. So it's 15 cents for each call, and we have 40 calls. So it's 40 calls at 15 cents each. So let's multiplying together. And then that'll give us our answer. So 20 plus 15 cents times 40. What am I going to do first? You got it. I'm going to do that multiplication first. So 15 times 40, or 0.15, so 15 hundredths times 40 gets us 6, and our plus 20 still stays. And then 6 plus 20 is 26. And we need to remember that this is the cost. So I need to have my dollar sign there with me. And let me tell you, the dollar sign most certainly goes in front of the number. If you put your dollar sign in the wrong place, so if you put it behind the number, I'm going to count that wrong. So make sure that you're putting that dollar sign in front of that number, because I know you guys are smart enough to do that. Now it also wants us to make a table showing the cost for 40, 50, 60, and 70 calls. So I'm going to make a 3-step table kind of here. So we have our calls, the number of calls, and our cost. And in here is our expression. So we know our number of calls we have is going to be 40, 50, 60, and 70. And our expression for 40 we already have on this page back here. So it's our 20 plus 0.15 times 40. And then our total cost was, don't forget our dollar sign there, 26. If I want to be really accurate, I'm going to put the 0.00 because money always goes out to the hundredths place. Here for 50 calls, so I'm just going to replace our 40 with 50 then. So 20 plus 0.15 times 50. I'm going to multiply our cents first, so 0.15 times 50, and that'll get us 750. Plus 20 will get us 27.50. I'm just going to look over here and go, I just went up by $1.50. So let's see if that's what happens again, to see if we found a pattern. So 20 plus 0.15, now I replace in 50 with 60. And we end up getting 0.15 times 60 gets us 9. Plus our 20 will get us $29. Is 750 plus 150 29? It is. So I'm just going to do my math right away here and put 3050 over here. Then I don't have to solve the problem anymore. And then just write in our 20 plus 0.15 times 70. And voila, there's your table. That's all you need. We've got our labels. We've got our columns. Perfect. Now I want you to pause here and try this one on your own and check. And as always, if you are stuck on something, raise your hand and I will come help you. So our answer here, it says the same phone company offers another plan where they charge $15 per month and 25 cents for each call, written, evaluated, and expression. So 15 per month plus 25 cents per call equals the cost. Now I'm going to have to add another table here. Oh, we're going to evaluate for 40. So plus 0.25 times 40. Now I need a calculator. So 25 cents, 0.25 times 40 is 2.2 plus 15. So this one's only $17.20. A little better of a deal. So now I want to make my table. So boom, boom, boom. Calls, expression, cost. 40, 50, 60, 70. We had 15 plus 25 cents per call, which was 40 calls here, and the cost was $17.20. That was not accurate. I apologize. So actually, 0.25, so 25 cents times 40 is 10, plus 15 is 25. So that cost was 25. So I apologize if you were trying to follow along there. That's why we always double check our math. I was thinking that didn't make sense. I should have done my check method, huh? So 25. Now I'm going to go back. 15 plus 25 times 50 calls. So 0.25 times 50 is 12.5 plus 15 is 27.50. And I'm going to go, okay, we have almost the same type of, we have the exact same type of equation as we did last time. So each time our numbers are going to be going up by the same. So 5 to 27.50 was plus 250. So then I'm going to go and add 27.50 plus 250 to get us $30. And then 32.50. And I'm going to still check this with my calculator to make sure. So as I'm putting in my 15 plus 25 times 60, plugging it into my calculator, and I get $30. So perfect. And same thing here, checking, and I get $32.50.